Hospital. Oh, oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. We can say a year. My leadership skills, I really lead off of two big rules of mine, and it's pretty simple. It's transparency and collaboration. What I've noticed is in a hospital environment, every department from nursing to the administration plays a critical role in shaping our public perception. So with that being said, just earlier today, it was a big argument that went ensued in the lobby area. I rushed over and de-escalated the situation. You may hear about it, may not. So, the public's perception of us in our hospital world is very important to me. Um, by utilizing, like I said, those de-escalating tools and things to bring down the public and keep them calm, and also keep them believing and having faith in us as a hospital and as a whole, as a unit, company unit, and community hospital. So my approach in regards to the leadership, it brings these teams all together. The teams that I mentioned earlier, the nursing to administration, it brings us all together just so we can deliver consistent, accurate, and human centered communications, being in public relations, or as it relates to public relations, I should say.
Okay, and how do you adapt when managing like different personalities?
So what I noticed with being able to adapt to the different personalities is you just have to do the silent treatment on them most of the time and let them get out all of their thoughts, all of their emotions. You got to let them. It's almost like babysitting, but not so much because we're being higher paid, or it's a higher level, and it requires education and some kind of psychology behind it, in my opinion. But I believe in just letting them express themselves. And then the customer's always right approach. I've seen in my experience in real life that always works. Um, but building a strong work environment through the community engagement piece of it will really help with dealing with people with bad attitudes or irate patients and or irate employees.
Okay. Okay. How do you handle a team member who is like constantly missing deadlines or underperforming? My bad. I thought I was pressing my mic.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry. I thought I was talking that whole time.
No.
So that's actually a great question in regards to team members that are underperforming. In my real life experience, I first start with the observation and understanding. So my first step is to really understand the root cause of why are you underperforming, or why are we not meeting those deadline. The underperformance, I notice, is often tiered with something, or maybe the expectation isn't clear enough. My second approach is to communicate clear expectations moving forward. So after I observe them and get to the root cause, I like to communicate clear expectations. My third thing would be providing coaching and some resources as it relates to role play, or this virtual environment, I should say. So maybe that could be the rule book, or maybe that can be some experiences I have had personally on this virtual environment. Um, But yeah, coaching, resources, that will be the third thing. The fourth thing will be to create a short term goal or a short term improvement plan the with my staff member. So it can be a 1 day, it can be a 2 hour goal, it can be a 1 day goal, it can be a 1 week goal. But when we meet that on that follow up appointment or that follow up 1 on 1, we should be executing, or we should see some sort of improvement, from what I've seen in the past, as it relates to this. The fifth thing will be maintain accountability, not just for me, but for the staff member, or excuse me, I said that backwards. Not just for the staff member, but for me also, and for anyone else that may be involved. Accountability is very important. We can't improve on anything if we're not first holding ourselves accountable and liable for the actions or the that we're performing. The sixth thing will be to reinforce the positive culture within one state. So reinforcing what one state is about, what it means to be a medic, why are you here as a medic? If it's not centered around the urge or the want to help the public, generally help the public, patiently help the public, um, then we may need to look into other avenues. But I hope that answered some of those, or excuse me, that question.
Yes. Um, if leadership was to give you like a directive and you disagreed with it, how would you handle that?
If leadership gave me a directive and I disagreed with it, I would, one, reserve my grievances unless you guys open the floor for me to have an opinion. Um, in my opinion, will always be professional, short, concise, and to the point. Other than that, whatever that disagreement is, it will get done because it's ultimately a whole goal for the company or for the hospital as a whole. It's a bigger picture than just me disliking a new rule or I have to be here at a certain time versus this time now. It's much bigger. It's for a reason. It's a bigger picture. So I handle this disagreements by just agreeing with it ultimately. That's
Okay.
my answer.
And how do you prepare your team for handling like an unexpected PR crisis? If you're talking, baby, I can't hear
Oh my God. Thank you for saying something.
you.
I had my hand right under the mic. My crazy self. I'm sorry. Can you ask me that question one more time? Because now I feel like I didn't miss some points I was trying to make.
How do you handle preparing your team for like an unexpected PR crisis?
Well, unexpected. So that's pretty much the whole point of PR. But first, I will build a crisis ready culture before anything happens. So we will make sure that the culture is up to par within the building so that we can be able to show a strong unit outside of the building or to the world, if that makes sense. Oh, what is it? Why is this? Hold on, I'm sorry. My thing is tripping. It's trying to respawn me into more stuff. Secondly, I would develop and maintain a clear crisis communications plan. So I would evaluate what the crisis is, go over the 3 steps that I personally use, internally with myself, and once I determine what exactly the crisis need is and how we should execute that plan, I will begin to conduct either the training that's required or start structuring the crisis management that needs to happen at that point. And I always think regular coaching and in like pretend drills that practicing always makes perfects in my book. So maybe some test runs between me and the upper management or other management in upper management, We do some role plays maybe with that, or even newsworthy things. So, like a murder happened over in Compton and San Pedro, and they're saying the hospital didn't do X, Y, and Z. What will we do? So, those type of role plays I think are very, very critical in getting ready for an unexpected crisis role. It's just so you know that you're ready mentally and physically to take the backlash and do as much damage control as possible. And then also, I would set up monitoring systems. So I don't know how that will work in the virtual world, but I would think it would be in Discord or maybe on an Excel worksheet that I would have um, off or the outside of this environment, I should say, where I'm monitoring what we need to catch up on early detection, any media impress if we have it. I don't know if we are going to have it because I don't know if they plan on upgrading this to the point where we do have media impress at the hospital. So I would just be keeping up with those day to day tasks. Um, and then I would also empower the team with clear messaging and framework. So I would structure that to make sure every team member, from the people that starts off in those scrubs driving, or excuse me, the medics, all the way up until the higher ups, that we know exactly what our clear goal is and our end game is for the public as well as internally. um, HIPAA, I don't know if that's relevant to this, but us telling other patients medical business is completely prohibited, and that should be strongly enforced, I believe. And then I believe just debriefing after every incident. So after every PR incident, so like you said, this one was an emergency. So I would believe a daily or even every 4 hour update. So that would be 3 times a day, every 4 hours, or daily, whatever the higher ups prefer, would be a requirement of myself. If it was me handling the situation, it would just be keeping everybody in the loop, hour by hour, minute by minute, day by day, on what's going on with the particular crisis. And that's how I would handle um, a crisis if it came through as an emergency. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Okay.
Okay, well, that concludes our interview. Thank you for your interest, and we will get back to you.
Feedback, please.
Oh, baby, your answers were amazing.
Okay, good. That gives me some solace. Are you at liberty to say who I'm up against for the position?
Um, I do believe John David put in an application as well as Pink Whitney.
Pink Whitney, and who was the other one? I didn't hear. You said John Davis. I never even seen that person.
Yeah, Mr. John David.
Never seen it. Oh, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 3, what would you rate I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this interview?
Honestly, I'd give you a 10, to be honest.
Great. Well, thank you, Miss Hennessy. So do you have to collaborate with a team or?
Yes, I'm going to go over it with the chief and the other DCPs.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you. That's all I wanted to do. I'm glad we were able to get this interview out of the way to this evening. I'm so happy before you guys make the final announcement.
Right. Well, let me
So
go
make sure.
send this to them real quick so they can put their input in.
Okay, well, thank you. You have a good night, okay?
You as well, love. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.